Oh, yeah. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Arr. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome, greeting, salutations, and all that. No, that is just random bits of greenery floating. Just double checking because I saw something behind me. God, I hate. It looks suspiciously like a fish. It's not a fish floating. It's just some bits of leaf that's got caught up in the algae or moss that's growing off of the top brace. So, how is everyone? Although you're not here yet. And how is your week? Questions for the replay crew, because I know you're out there. I know you do watch. Some of you are complete nutters. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's been another week. They come around real fast these days, don't they? The older you get, the quicker time goes. Howdy, Sammy. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, another week already. It's kind of scary. Not entirely sure where the weeks are going, but there we go. We're what? Fifth of the way through April already? Huh? Oh well. Come on. At least the end of April, beginning of May, I've got another week off work, so yay. I can chill. Well, I'll probably be finding all sorts to do that week. At least there won't be a huge amount of spring cleanings to do indoors or a huge amount to do in the garden. So thankfully, we might be able to go on a bike ride or two and have a couple of flompy days where I don't do anything at all. That would be the ideal. And the ideal would be an entire week of not doing anything at all, but I think we can safely say there is no chance of that ever happening. Not unless I'm really ill or badly injured. So yes, what have you been up to this week, Sam? As for me, it's been the huge water changes, work, bit of stuff out in the garden, upload a video, which isn't actually that usual. Anyone else remember when I used to do 2 videos a week every week? And now I switched to 1 video a week. Now it's when I actually remember to upload something. Trying to avoid the news and playing with the dog. That sounds a sensible plan. Not a, yeah. Yeah, better to play with the dog than watch the news. I'm guessing there's more of the same old happening over there. A certain idiotic individual just keeping on making everything worse and not understanding that if I keep doing the same things but doing it more, they make it worse. Was it they say the definition of stupidity? Doing the same thing multiple times and expecting a different result. Not the same old, same old. Oh, something else going on. Oh, it's not the Trumpenführer then. Or the alien. Oh. They haven't got your face up on as a mugshot, have they? It's not that one again. Or is stuff on fire again? Because generally the news I see lately from America is either something's on fire, the president's being a douche, people are protesting about the president. That's pretty much all I see come out of America news-wise lately. Although, to be fair, I avoid the British news as well, because same old depressing stuff. Here's how the government is choosing to screw you over this time. Yeah, we're used to that. Eggs are over $8 a dozen. Really? What the hell are you doing wrong with your eggs? They come out of a chicken, you put them in a cardboard container and you sell them. That's simple. Why here? About £3 a dozen? And that's expensive. There you go. Howdy, Canasteo. In New York. Yeah, three bucks a dozen sounds about right. Exactly. If you get 2 dozen a day because you've got 24 or more chickens, then yeah, sell the ones you don't eat, because as delicious as home raised eggs are, because they are definitely nicer than shop bought ones. And from what I hear, our eggs are a lot nicer than your eggs, a lot richer and more flavour. Yeah, yeah. Sell the rest on and basically pay for the chicken food. So yeah, you get free eggs, literally. Yeah, farm eggs are, and then yeah, because it's not, it's natural. The birds are, they're getting a bit of feed, but the rest of what they're eating, they're scrapping about in the barnyard to find, and there's all the bugs and insects and worms and God knows what else they eat, and seeds, and that translates directly into flavour. I used to have a friend whose back garden backed onto some. It was a field, but not used as a field, so basically waste ground, that had hundreds of rabbits living in it. And he planted a load of herbs at the end of his garden: rosemary, thyme, parsley, chives, but all those at the end of his garden, purely for the rabbits to eat, so that when he got one for the pot, it tasted better. Genius. Pre-marinated meat, basically what it was. Yeah. I did see a video the other week. I've seen it. I've seen the video, and I've seen people reacting to it over the years. The difference between our eggs and your eggs. Mm, eat anything. So he goes, our eggs in the store are not in a refrigerator. They're just out on a shelf at room temperature, because they don't have to be refrigerated, because they come straight out the chicken, and they go literally down a conveyor belt. Might get a bit of a, there'll be a little brushy bit to get the worst of the poop and feathers and sawdust off, and then they're packed into boxes and sent out. And that's all the processing. Now, does the American system, where you wash, blah 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 blah, all this other stuff, does that make the eggs very slightly safer in terms of the chances of catching salmonella? Yes, if everything is done properly. If it's not done properly, it increases the chances of salmonella, and all it does is up the price of eggs. So yeah, just switch to the European way of producing eggs, and they'll be a lot cheaper, because you don't need to have a processing plant. They literally come off the farm and straight to a warehouse or a shop. Yeah, I think the only process that our eggs get is they get date stamped. That's the only machine process other than rolling down a conveyor belt that happens to them. Or is it because, like we found with Brexit, which should have been a clue to the rest of the world what happens, is we whole part, yes, there are racists over here as well. And a lot of the reason a lot of people voted for Brexit was to get rid of the foreigners coming over here stealing our jobs. Well, they were coming over here and they were doing jobs, yes. They were doing jobs none of us wanted to do. So as you're finding, having sent a lot of immigrants back or away, all those jobs that nobody wanted to do, now having to find someone to do them, and they're wanting the same wages as every other American is. And it doesn't work, because that just ups the costs. And either the price goes up or someone takes a cut in profits. Howdy, Mutton Cur. Yes, I'm on the pipe. It makes me all wise and philosophical. Remember how fondly we looked back on the Japanese internment camps? We're doing it again. Yeah. George Takei is rolling in his grave. Yeah. The one I didn't get, though, there was a thing about is a judge wanted to know about it, because violating constitutional rights. Deporting Puerto Ricans who are American citizens, that part already doesn't make sense. But then deporting some of them to El Salvador. Huh? That makes no sense. But yes, because they're classed as American citizens, they have the American constitutional rights, which means by deporting them without proper trial and a chance to defend themselves, all that kind of stuff, you're essentially finding them guilty of a crime that without putting them on trial. So yeah, Dr. Ted of the Tub Pond Handbook. I nearly said that completely wrong. Good evening, sir. I'm assuming that as a Ted that you're a sir, not a madam. Yes, tub ponds are cool. I don't have one, but they are cool, especially for people who don't necessarily have space for a proper pond or an in the ground pond, or you know what I mean. Straight up deported somebody that is a illegal sex. I don't care. So, yeah, exactly. New Jersey. I've been to Jersey. I've never been to New Jersey. Jersey being an island in the Channel, the English Channel, that is, not the French Channel. English Channel always has been. French don't want it, so we look after it. Best, most diverse food in the world. Oh, I raise you Birmingham. Birmingham, England, not Birmingham, Alabama. This is the thing: is England has been multicultural for centuries. Hell, we went to war with the Dutch over spices. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I live in a small town. I mean, small town by the area of the country I live in. We have fish and chip shops, Indians, fried chicken, Italian, Chinese. Did I say Indian? Polish. What other places we got we can eat? There's an American diner. Sorry to bring up politics. Sometimes it's the big thing that's happening and you can't avoid talking about it, Sam. Don't worry about it. I just, yeah, again, how anyone didn't see through the BS and actually voted that way, especially more than half the people. It's kind of ridiculous. Exactly, we talk it. Yeah, we just try not to get into personal politics. So the Dutch still want the discount. Uh, Dutch got the football, so that's okay. And they also got the very tall, hot women as well. So, and they legalized cannabis donkeys years ago, and prostitution. And what do you know? Their crime levels are really low. It's like, if you make simple things that don't hurt anyone else legal, then you reduce the crime numbers. Yeah, but when you have state-run prisons or not non-state-run prisons that are run for profit, you need to have as many people in there as possible to make as much money as possible. I suppose most of us are shocked and embarrassed. Yeah. My general thinking is if people are going to turn up to my live streams, they ain't going to be MAGA. Tune out to bring up cricket. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most Brits, well, not most Brits, a lot of Brits would tune out if I started talking about cricket. All you need to know is Test match cricket, the game goes on for 5 days and it can still be a draw. 2020 cricket is a bit more like baseball, has dancing girls and there's a lot more fast paced and there's colour. It's not everyone just dressed in white cream, I should say, because cricket whites are cream coloured. I remember back in the 80s when there was a big hoo-ha about there being brand names on cricket bats, and because that's advertising and sponsorship, and that's just not cricket. So it's like marriage arguments. No. They go on for 5 days and you lose. Or you just accept defeat even if you know you're right. It's just the way the world works. And then you wait for it all to go pear-shaped and you go, well, I hate to say I told you so. But that's why nobody does that. See, Mary and I have that solved. We live in different towns, 3/4 of an hour away from each other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Put sponsorships on sponsorships and billboards on everything. We'll have like adverts or advertisements and stuff up in towns and cities, but you won't see a single billboard on a road. Yes. St. Michael's Kindergarten, sponsored by Colt Manufacturing. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that one. Shouldn't have done that one. Oh dear. Oh, my Norfolk's coming out. Yeah, it's just something about things like that that we just don't like. It just all seems a bit crass. Yeah. Yeah, so the shopping channels didn't do very well over here. It's just a 24-hour advert. No, um, it's not for us. If there's something we're interested in purchasing, we'll look it up or find out about it ourselves. Let's say I was looking for a new washing machine, which I'm not. Um, I would look at several different places that I know that sell washing machines, check out the prices, check out reviews, see which one is basic and simple, and go for that one. Big Tank Hank, here he is. How you doing, Garrett? Good to see you. Mr. Muscle there. Been a while. Good to see the old faces coming back again. And I don't mean old. Oh, it's your birthday, is that it? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Garrick. Happy birthday to you. Oh, look at all the hearts coming in. Happy birthday, sir. 21 again, I hope. I guarantee someone told you if you go to Sharpe's stream, they'll sing happy birthday to you, didn't they? What plant's grave? Most plants, they crave a flame. Yeah, we miss you too, you big softy. Donald Trump, the underpants gnome from South Park. Step one, tariffs. Step two. Step three, profit. Yeah, it don't work, does it? I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually understand how they work. And yes, I am getting old, so I smoke a pipe now. Pipe and energy drinks, slippers and a baseball cap. It's not a good combination, is it? One part old man, one part chav. Um, and chav is probably not a word that gets used in America. Um, stands for council house and violent. It's basically redneck or trailer park. Yeah, trailer trash basically is what a chav is. Um, yeah, Sharpe converting English to American English. And I swear one of these days I'll get round to a Norfolk one. Thank you, UK, for creating the modern society. I trust us. None of us alive remember it. Um, and as I say, we took a big step forward and then we had to go back a bit because we stepped too far forward because we had Oliver Cromwell in charge. And that guy makes Donald Trump look like Barack Obama. Well, we always, yeah. Well, this is it. People should learn from history, but it seems people are determined to make the same mistakes. Brexit was an absolute cluster F, and no lessons seem to be learned from. He was misunderstood. Yeah, in the same way that Hitler wasn't. I mean, he wasn't all bad. I mean, he did do one good thing. He killed Hitler. Uh, well, the biggest mind boggle of me with that one is how the hell he managed to marry Eva Braun. She was smoking hot. How is Brexit? Brexit still sucks. It continues to suck. Impact the hobby? Not really. COVID did. And it affected it in a positive way for me because we obviously with COVID, various things shut down, including fish imports, like livestock imports basically stopped. So all the shops were rapidly running out of things. Who breeds lots of things? Yeah. So that's why, rather than just taking a few fish in once in a while because I got too many, I'm now a supplier just because I lucked out. Um, yeah, I mean, in general, Brexit just put the prices of everything up because there wasn't the cheap foreign labour that was willing to work in the fields, picking the fruit and the crops and doing all the nasty, crappy jobs that we don't want to do. So all the prices went up because we had to do it and we want more money. yeah, it basically is. It's the, the the fact that the Trumpenführer does have a copy of Mein Kampf translated into English should be enough to tell you that you don't vote for that person. Friends with Ivan Dibble, Derek Lambert, and Dick Mills. Nice gents and great. I didn't meet any of them. I haven't met. No. The only sort of famous fishy persons that I've met, one in the aquarium hobby was George Farmer. Didn't get on too well with him. And going back to another side of fish hobbies was fishing, and I got to know John Wilson quite well, who was a famous TV fisherman. Howdy, Tommy. How's it going, you spexy beast? Hope all is well. And yeah, that's my typical chat, really, isn't it? There's stuff about politics, stuff about Nazis, and stuff about aquatics. Oh, what's the next random conversation we can come up with? Garden going well. If you saw this week's video, that's pretty much as up to date as I am. Did buy a few more plants today to put in. I've got a rosemary and a couple more phloxes. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, the rosemary will go in one of the pots, and phloxes will go in the border somewhere. Going good. Built a box, sconce style shelf above an indoor tank with the light inside the sconce, casting in the tank, and tore a tile out of the water closet. Cool. Been a busy boy again then, Tommy. So to me, a busy day is getting up and actually doing something. You know, if I've done more than like just sit on the couch and vegetate, then I had a fairly busy day. Do the clubs in the UK allow fish auctions? Yeah, we have fish auctions, but clubs are few and far between, and there isn't one local to me that I've even been to one. So I couldn't really say, but yeah, we do have the auctions. There is one. It's not a huge distance away, but I did think about going to one once, but I would literally have just been taking bags and bags and bags of bristle noses. Built duck hut for the ducklings. New chicks into the new fish shed. Yay! Lots of quack, 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 quack going on. Yes, there are many countries in Europe and many different sets of laws as well. But yeah, it's an entire continent, and then just there's France in the middle. Many countries in Europe don't allow auctions or need a vet inspecting each bag. Yeah, whether it's legal or not is another matter, but it does happen. Yeah, I think there are some EU laws that we don't do. It might be one of them. But I mean, obviously, we do have our proper animal rights and animal welfare, sorry, and all that kind of stuff going on. And plus, if people look at a bag of fish and they look sick or they look unhealthy, people ain't going to buy them. And if you turn up to an auction with a bunch of sick fish, next time you turn up, no one's buying your fish. And it's just the way it is, really. Or you won't be allowed to sell fish. I take the easy option and just supply a store direct. Yes, I make less money per fish, but when you're taking in a couple of hundred at a time, it doesn't really matter. I would rather spend an hour or so, or an hour or two maybe, catching 100 bristlenoses, 40 snails, 40 shrimp or 50 shrimp, and like 20 live bearers, than I would spend 5-10 minutes bagging them each individually just to make a little bit more money and then having to deal with the public as well. I work in retail. I don't want to deal with the public on my days off. I know what the public are like. Hell, some fish store employees are bad enough, let alone public dealing with fish. Yes, that better will be fine with your goldfish and shrimp. That said, I've probably got shrimp in my pond, along with the comic goldfish, the frogs, and everything else. And yes, there is more than one juvenile comic goldfish in there. Actually, bigger than when I bought the ones that are in there already. So yeah, there's a nice bright orange one and a yellow one that I've seen so far. And no, it's not some massive pond that's heavily filtered, blah blah blah. It's a 6 foot, 4 foot hole in the ground with a liner, water, and fish, and everything else has just happened naturally. Admittedly, I did put some plants in there, which I since had to pull out, or they died, or just got eaten. But stuff came in with the plants. Are we there yet? Even oh, warm night, warm night. It is nice and warm. I have got the door shut now, but that's mostly because people are out mowing lawns and strimming and doing all sorts of noisy things in the gardens. So I'd rather not listen to that if I can help it. Oh, there are definitely better things to be listening to than the sound of someone else's lawnmower going for the first time this year. That's a point. Yeah, brown bean gets emptied this week, so I'll probably cut the front grass this week if the weather stays dry. I will remember to de-cat poop it first, though, because I don't want another mouthful of that. Yeah, don't hit cat poop with a weed whacker strimmer, whatever you want to call it, because it goes everywhere. It's not nice. Yeah, so I'll cut the front grass and then get back to digging over and weeding out more of the back garden. See if we can actually get rid of all the brambles out of the borders and see where we go from there. If I can get all the brambles out and all the nettles out and get the edging in, then the borders will be done. Well, mostly. There's a little bit down the corner here, but there's a massive shrub growing over the top of that, so getting to it could be quite a bit of a problem. Well, why is it this thing always... always fascinated how UK hobbyists have fish sheds in the gardens or semi-converted bomb shelters in addition. Yeah, our houses tend to be smaller, so there's not necessarily that much room indoors for a fish room. We don't tend to have houses with big spare rooms in them. Tend not to have cellars and basements either. So, and if you're married, the wife might allow a fish tank in the house, in the front room, depending on her decor style. But if you want more than one, you're going to have to put them outside usually. Just weirdos like me that can have them all indoors. Morning, Deli darling. How the devil are you? Well, while I think about it, it did just cross my mind. We're not being judged correctly. Stay up there. There we go. Now we're being properly judged. And yes, the Limias think they're going to be fed again. Yes, there he is, Zaki boy. The bestest boy. The floof monster. The cutest ghost cat there ever was. Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is our houses are too small to have loads of big tanks. I mean, something like a 50-gallon is like that 200-litre behind me. That's considered a big tank in the UK in general terms. Oh no, kettle's dead. Went flip it on, realise it's split at the bottom. Oh no. Dun, dun, dun. No, that's the Imperial March. And once I get the Imperial March in my head, I can't do the Funeral March either. It's weird. Yes, rest in peace, kettle. Or rest in pieces in this case. Just don't go buying a poncy posh kettle. Just buy one that boils water. Not one of these ones that instant boil. Or God knows what. The one we got at work is really awkward and annoying. You did it the American style. The one we got at work, we had one that was absolutely fine. You flick the switch, it turned on, it boiled, you poured the water out. This one was more like a coffee machine. You put the cup under it, you press the button, and it boils the water that it uses. Nah. Then you go to empty it, and you tip the water out. You tip the thing back up, and another sort of half a litre of water pours back into it from somewhere. Where the hell that keep coming from? So you end up pouring half the water over your feet if you're not careful. Yeah. Kettles, keep it simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Popular dry food brands. King British, Aquarium, Fish Science, etc. Pretty much it. I mean, we don't tend to worry about it too much, but generally, if you go to a supermarket, you'd find a supermarket own brand and Aquarium. It's only weirdos like me that buy flake like that. I would say and algae wafers, but I've recently run out of algae wafers. I need to buy another sack. Yeah, but you don't microwave tea. That's just wrong. Microwaving tea is right up there with putting pineapple on a pizza or gravy on a donut. No. I mean, I don't even like tea. I don't even have tea in the house. I have coffee because Mary has coffee. If I had coffee for myself, it would go out of date and be a solid lump. If I'm going to have a hot drink, on those very rare moments when it is really cold in the winter, like when it's like below -5, then I'll have a cup of OXO or a cup of soup or something like that. I mean, sometimes I get a pizza with only pineapple. Just get a pineapple and cheese sandwich and put some ketchup on it. Lipton bag, direct from the floor shavings of Indian tea factories. Yeah, if you go down that particular aisle in the supermarket in the UK, there will be dozens and dozens and dozens of brands of tea bags and loose teas and green teas and herbal teas. There will be about 3 brands of hot chocolate. Yeah, Oxo, yeah, beef stock cube. Yeah, crumble one into a mug, fill it with boiling water, give it a stir. Basically, beef broth. You can even dunk some bread in it if you want, or some crackers. Yeah, or bovril, basically the same thing, but just saves. I have OXO to put in gravy, so it just saves me buying another thing. Because again, if I had bovril, that'd probably end up just going out of date. And yeah, can't go wrong with Marmite. Add a little bit of Marmite to your gravy, or on toast in a sandwich. Cheese and Marmite sandwich is awesome. Yeah, Vegemite. I've had Vegemite. I do enjoy it as well. The way I describe it is, and I know they're basically the same product, they're both a sludge out at the bottom of a beer barrel. But to me, Marmite tastes more meaty, beefy. And Vegemite, it tastes more like roast beef, whereas Vegemite tastes more like roast vegetables. It's what we're used to, so I'm used to Marmite. Yeah, Marmite puts hairs on your chest, and then if you smear it on and you get a bit of paper, you can rip the hairs off again. Was it? It was World War II when there was a shortage of stockings because some things were more important than ladies' stockings in World War II. Women were actually colouring their legs with Marmite or coffee. Here in the States, our sandwiches come with a side bowl of statins. Yes, basically, yeah, it's the same thing made in a different country. It's, yeah. And those of us who are used to Marmite or Vegemite are the reason that the reaction videos to is usually American reacts to Marmite or American tries Marmite or Vegemite for the first time. The reason they get so many views is because we know what's coming. Marmite is advertised as you either love it or you hate it, and it's true. Get Marmite at the grocery store. I have to go to the World Market to get Vegemite. Yeah, are you close to us? Yeah, Cali, is that closest to us in Australia? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was brought up with it, and one of my memories was making myself a Marmite sandwich, and my uncle going, "Oh, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. You'll hate it. Oh, that'd be horrible." And I loved it because I was smearing it on there like it was chocolate spread. Marmite chocolate, I tried that. I've not tried the Marmite chocolate because that would be weird, but the Marmite peanut butter was nice. Yeah, it's like introducing someone to Worcestershire sauce without by having them take a shot. Yes, Worcestershire. Not however you hear it garbled and murdered. Yeah, cheesy mite, cream cheese with Vegemite. Yeah, but then also I'll have extra mature cheddar with Marmite on it in a sandwich. Yeah, that's always good. Marmite one side and Coleman's mustard the other. Worcestershire. I mean, Worcester I kind of get because there are letters in there that you wouldn't pronounce. But there is a Worcester in America that is pronounced Worcester. And there is New Hampshire, which is pronounced shire. In the South, we call it Worcestershire sauce. I mean, if we want to get into the things being pronounced incorrectly, the American places that have French names that aren't pronounced in the way that they should be being French. Uh, Trying to think of one. I mean, New Orleans, for example, would be new being the English version, but Orléans for the French. Yeah, and it would be Cajun French, but it's still French. It was still settled by the French, named by the French. Uh, that was no, Des Moines would be Des Moines. Yeah, it's just been Americanified. over the decades. I would say centuries, but it's not been, well, I mean, maybe a couple hundred years, but not that long compared to how long some of our place names have had a chance to marinate. I mean, where I live was originally Eitlingsberg, the settlement founded by Eitlinger. Yes, it was a Viking settlement originally. Get locked up if you wash your sister. But then I've heard people in UK shops asking for tortillas, queer sad dillas, dolmero sauce. Where do you get that from? It's dolmio. It's easy. At least we pronounce the UK rock bands properly. It's all that really matters. I have heard Depeche Mode and Depeche Mode pronounced by Americans Depeche. I'm trying to remember how they pronounce it. It's Spandau Ballet. What is Spandau Ballet? Who? I've never heard of Spandau Ballet. Oh, Spandau Ballet. Don't tell my mates. Yeah, Spandau Ballet. Yeah. Give me something of a French pronunciation. Yeah, sorbet is a French word. The French invented the sorbet. And the duvet, which is why you don't call it a sorbet or a dovet. Target, target or target. That's giving it away. Target, darling. I went to Target today. I got some food to put in my microwave. God. I bet Nigella still hasn't lived that bad joke down. She's Nigella Lawson, English celebrity chef, daughter of former politician. I think he might have been Chancellor Nigel Lawson. Yes, Nigel Lawson named his daughter Nigella. But yeah, one of her shows, she called it the microwave as a joke, and it really stuck. People didn't realise she was joking. But I mean, that was less about the cooking and more about the camera angles, to be honest, that show. People didn't watch her cooking shows for the cooking, let's just say that. And Woolies. Yeah, Woolies is Woolies wherever you are. Don't have proper fish and chips. Had a franchise back in the 60s called After Features. It went under the cod crisis. Yeah, I'll say it's a town of maybe 20,000 I live in. And that's only because it's grown a lot recently. And we've got like 5 chippies. Is it? Hang on, let me think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's at least 5 chippies. So, and everyone has their favourite. I go to the one I go to because they do fries probably. Yeah, a 20 barber too. No, we've only got 2 Turkish barbers, and as you can probably tell, I don't go to them. There's one barber there's only one barber left in town that I've ever visited. And I only went there once. The rest of them are all gone that I used to visit. I used to visit the ladies' barber or the ladies' hairdressers rather than the men's barbers most of the time. Yeah, I did go through a period when I had short hair that I just. Our nail salons typically Asian run. They're typically run by young girls, women with way too much makeup on, and they look orange. 2 dozen Indian restaurants. Yeah, yeah. People go on about Taco Bell. Oh, Taco Bell will give you the runs. Oh, have a good Indian. That'll clear you out. There's a reason why we sometimes keep a toilet roll in the fridge for when things burn as much on the way out as they did on the way in. We got a Taco Bell here. I haven't tried it because I've never seen anyone go in. I'm not entirely sure what a taco really is. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's basically a Mexican Cornish pasty or pie, open pie. It's a thing that you hold, and it's got like meat and gravy and sauce and stuff in it. Tetragram masala mix. Yeah, majority of Mexican food is the same ingredients. Yes, cheese, beans, and refried sick. I think it was an old Jeremy Clarkson joke from Top Gear, so that shows how old that was. Yeah, it's mainly the majority of all food is the same ingredients. I mean, all the different cakes there are, and they're basically all the same: tomato, onion, parsley, cheese, beans, rice, beef, and sauce. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically a minced beef and onion pie with beans and cheese added to it and rice. Don't sound too bad, really. I mean, take out the tomato and the parsley. Probably take out the rice because you got a full pastry case there, so you don't need the extra carbs. Up to find the Great British Bake Off. Oh God, you have my sympathies. Yeah, a hot dog is a sausage sandwich, and we were having those centuries before America existed. Tacos are great. You literally just put the beef, cheese, and sauce, and boom, taco. Or you could just put it in a sandwich. Not have to buy special things or wraps or anything like that. Just 2 slices of bread and job done. Buttered bread. If you're going to make a sandwich, you put butter on the bread first. Uh, you see, thing is, you're talking to an expert here on weird sandwiches. What day was it? Was it Tuesday? I had spaghetti bolognese sandwiches for dinner. Tin spaghetti bolognese sandwiches. So we had. I mean, hot dogs are the same worldwide. Shepherd's pie sandwiches, now they're special. Um, or lasagna sandwiches. I mean, hot dogs worldwide are basically, yeah, anything like that is just the offcuts and the bits no one wants to eat. Not even minced up, they're pureed and then put into a shape and sold. That's literally what they are. And trust me, I've worked in a chicken factory. I know what happens. I know what things are made of. Uh, all the ground up nasty bits, then you add a bunch of flavouring and you stir it all up, and then it goes into a machine, gets squeezed out into shapes, breaded, and then sold. Yeah. Oh, mashed potato sandwiches. Oh, they're awesome. Irish restaurants are becoming popular in New Jersey. First English breakfast. Was it a proper English breakfast, though? Is it a proper full English? And I wouldn't have it because there are things in it I don't like. Is sausage, bacon, egg, black pudding, fried bread, baked beans, tomato, and then toast. Some people would add hash browns, which I'll eat quite happily. Um, but yeah, I would take out the tomatoes and the baked beans. I don't like either of them. Sausage, egg, and bacon with some mushrooms, fried bread, and a bit of toast on the side. You can't go wrong with fried bread. Fried in the bacon fat. Like toast, just really greasy. Um, you can feel it constricting your arteries as you chew. Not that you have to chew fried bread, it just melts in your mouth. Yeah. Sausage, bacon, eggs, tomato, mushroom, beans, toast, and a bit of sides. Yeah, I'd say we fried bread is definitely a British thing. Um, yeah, we definitely don't do salad with it. Last thing you want that time of day is a salad. Salad on the plate is just there to take up space. It doesn't look like you've got such a small serving. For American breakfast has to be delivered through a drive-through. Fried bread, and you call Americans fat. Yeah, but it's not like we all sit here every morning eating a full English breakfast. I don't have breakfast. Um, you know, and back in the days when people did, they did very, very strenuous jobs. You know, farming and mining and those kind of jobs where you burn off as many calories as you take in. It doesn't really matter what you eat. You could eat 8,000 calories a day and still be skinny. Whereas these days, most people are far more sedentary. I know I am, even if I do go for a bike ride. That's still not a day's work. Poor blimey, Mary Poppins. I can't even do as bad a bloody Cockney accent as Dick Van Dyke or Penis One Lesbian. Um, that's just how that movie done so well with such a bad accent in it. Oh, actually, that was another one I watched was um, actresses you didn't know were English. Someone reacting to it. Someone who I watch who is a really nice guy, but let's be honest, he's not blessed with too many grey cells. And he was like, "Oh, Tilda Swinton. Oh, I know her. She's English. Wow. Okay." He's like, Dame Helen Mirren. Oh, is she English? She's a dame. Yes, Dick Van Dyke is a treasure. He's awesome. But Penis One Lesbian would have been his porn star name. Diagnosis Murder was awesome. I used to watch that every day when it was on repeats when I got home from work. That or Monk, that was the other one that I used to watch a lot of. Tony Shalhoub, the OCD detective, OCD germaphobe with a assistant. Yeah. And then every so often there'd be something like Murder She Wrote instead. And I watched all those as a kid, so there was that sort of familiarity and stuff. Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher, which is a poor name, Mouth Brooder. It probably is. probably a knockoff movie called that somewhere in the pipeline. Check Brandon Tenold's channel; he's probably covered it. Oh god. Yeah, if you want reviews of really cheap, cheesy movies by someone really sarcastic, Brandon Tenold. He's been doing it for donkey's years. Sounds like there's an opportunity there. Yeah. Starring Penis One Lesbian and introducing Mouth Brooder. In the cinematic remake nobody wanted to see, Bonan. With the tagline, Poor Anne. Come on, we've all seen things like Gladiator and The Sexy Sixth Sense, or is that just me? What was the other one? Oh, One-Eyed. Well, it wasn't really porn, was it? One-Eyed Monster starring Ron Jeremy. Wait till you see the T position spawning. Oh god. Oh. This when the spawn get released from, or when the fry get released from the mouth. That's going to be like watching normal porn backwards. Actually, I wonder what that's like. Watching a porno in rewind. Be like listening to country backwards, wouldn't it? The guy gets his woman back, his dog back, his truck back, and his job back. Although I've got to say, there's one kind of fish I've not tried yet, is mouth brooders. I'm guessing they're all fairly sizable fishies, so I'd need them. I wouldn't be able to get away with a pair in a 15-gallon, would I? Let's be honest. Well, I might, but it's probably not recommended. No, you can't keep a bristlenose in less than 20 gallons. Hold my beer. Oh, I've done Shelleys. I did Shelleys. They were in the tank that's right in front of me here. But then I either sold off all the males or all the females because they stopped breeding. And then they started getting old and dying off. So I sold them and bought a pair of Julidochromis. a breeding pair of Geliochromis, and then they died as well. Because there's only one reason people sell breeding pairs of something like that is because they stop breeding because they're getting really old. Brichardies, yeah, I mean that's one I was thinking about. Was a pair of Brichardies in a 15-gallon flex. Plenty of enough room. Again, people go, no, it needs to be 20. No, trust me. When you bear in mind that that one, and that one, there's 150 bristle noses in each of those. God knows how many's in that one. And there's at least 60 super reds in that one. Speaking of which, Fred is wafting again, so we're going to have more super reds. Come on, camera. Why have you lost focus? Oh, I've gone really blurry. What focal length is it on? How is it focused that close? Come on, Logitech. I thought you were supposed to be a good one. Or is it because I've had you for about 9 years now? It's starting to get a bit old and worn out, possibly. Yeah, I tend to view recommended tank sizes as same with the stocking calculators. I just laugh at those. No, I do. I actually want to see fish in my tank. Yeah, doesn't look like there's too many in there, does it? What you can't see at the moment is the pair of full-grown electric blue Acara, the pair of full-grown bristlenose, all the baby Limia, all the Corridoras. Yeah, that's a heavily stocked tank, but then there's a lot of planties in there. And most of the time there's a full batch of baby bristlenoses in there as well. There's only, was it this week I moved them out or last week? Can't remember. This week. Yeah, this week because they went into the top right. Because I think it's probably about time that Spotty gets Bertie back in the cave and does his thing, has a good bristlegasm, and then starts wafting for 5 days. Well, he wafts for a lot longer than 5 days, but I take the eggs out after 5 days when they're just about to hatch usually. It's usually I put the eggs into the breeder box and within a couple of hours they've hatched. What I'll do with the super reds though is I noticed them yesterday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so probably Wednesday I will just get a jug, get the wrigglers out of the cave, and then just pour them in there. Because having a breeder box in a flex is a bit annoying. Because you either have to put it to the side where the feeding hole is, which so you can feed the breeder box, which then makes it awkward to feed the other fish. Or you put it the other side, then you just have to keep lifting the lid off every day, which is a pain in the butt. And I'm lazy. I like to keep things as simple as possible. Don't like overcomplicating things if I don't have to. Yeah, so I did well out the Shelleys. I had the Similis. Must have been 20 or 30 of them in the flex. But I do think that the remaining long fin super red I've got that's in there is looking rather female. And so if she is, the flex that had the Shelleys in will get some wood and plants and stuff. I'll move Finbar, my other my long fin super red male, and the female in there with some other stuffs. Tommy's at the store. Oh, what you buying, Tommy? What are you buying? Come on. Don't forget to get yourself a treat. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to need a pee. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that now rather than wait and then rush off and then rush back and then finish. So, be a couple of minutes, go for a whittle. I'll be right back. Going, oh, God, if I can stand up. Oh, there we go. Yes, okay. Back again. Garlic bread, beer, fruit, lettuce. Garlic bread and beer I can get behind, and spaghetti, but fruit and lettuce, nah, not for me. If I want, mind you, I've got plenty of slugs in the garden, so me growing lettuce is probably not going to happen. There's the reason I don't grow things like hostas or kale, because it would just get destroyed. Much as I'd like to grow kale, because Latte Bunny would love it. It would go nice as another latte leaf, as they get called. The various things that I grow purely for her. That's Mary's rabbit. Let's see, what do we get today? Oh no, they're all fallen over. So we have rosemary, grand total of $4.99. Oh, it's even got some flowers on it. Oh, where are they? There we go. And some weeds growing out of the pot as well. We'll get rid of them. Let's take that down on there so we don't have a wet muddy patch on the carpet. Oh. And we have a Lithador and a Phlox. She's got lots of rooties. So we'll get them planted at some point. Well, I'll stick them outside first, but back to the yard work so I don't lose husband points. Thanks for my stream. Cheers. Have a good one, Ted. Don't do too much yard work. The more you do, the more you need to do. But yeah, just keep on top of it so it doesn't end up like mine did, where I didn't keep on top of it and then I let it get too much, and then it was like, oh. And you have to take everything back down to ground level because it's all just brambles and nettles or ridiculously overgrown shrubs and ivy. That's the big problem at the moment, because I'm getting quite good at getting bramble roots out. Nettle roots, yeah, whatever. They're easy enough to get rid of, even though they do spread and some of them got rather large roots. Ivy, on the other hand, that stuff goes everywhere. You start pulling up a root and you follow it for about 10 feet before you find the other end of it, or it snaps off. But again, keep on top of it, and any that I do miss will soon get pulled out and hooed off or whatever. But I am being careful at the moment. I'm not doing any weeding as such on the bits I've already done, because chances are there's probably all sorts of random things that are going to start popping back up again. Now they're getting some sun and air and water. So I don't know what various wildflowers and stuff they are until they get a bit bigger, and then I can go, oh yeah, you're a weed, or oh, we'll keep you. But yeah, that pittosporum needs another trim. Got the holly tree to chop down still. Ivy root, yeah, we've got plenty to do out there. And then I can get a start on the front as well. The front won't take long, because I've already trimmed back the lavender, so let's just cut the grass. And then on the other side, pull out the nettles, thistles, ivy, sycamore tree, and trim back the neighbour's conifer. Speaking of which, neighbour's on holiday for the week. Yay! Means I don't have to walk the damn dog. Means the damn dog doesn't keep barking and waking me up. I do have to look after the cats, but yeah, that's not exactly tricky, is it? Let them out in the morning and feed them again in the afternoon, then let them in the evening and do fusses. I think I can manage that quite easily. And if they do make a mess, I've not got a sense of smell, so it's not a problem. Oh, actually, I wonder if he's left any poop bags. Because if he's left some poop bags, then that'll make clearing out the litter tray really easy. Because any logs that get left in there, I'll just pick them up in a poop bag and chuck them in the bin, rather than having to keep changing the bloody cat litter every day. This is why the cats are staying outside as long as possible. Pumpkin, bless her, gets ill. She has a tendency to eat everything and then throw up everywhere. And I'd rather not have to clean up cat puke off of various places, like the coffee table or the front of the microwave, or just the floor. Cat puke on the carpet. Rather not have to do that. So leave them outside. It's not like the weather's bad. They're outside most of the time anyway, so yes, that'll be Pumpkin and Ginge, Simone, Fat Cat, Black Cat, whatever it decides to call her. Yeah, last week, yeah, yeet Dizzy onto the tiles. Yeah, which you can do when you're there, but when you're not there, and you go in the morning and it's just sat there, and you're like, oh. Just got up, barely awake, hardly had any caffeine or nicotine, and yeah, even still then I think I'd rather clean up cat puke than walk the dog. Because at least it means I don't have to then walk for like half hour, 45 minutes, having just woken up and I'm going, ugh, and meet all the various other dog walkers and have to be like human. Me, human, early morning. Yes, it's not happening. Let's be honest. There's a reason I work the lates. And we had a change of management and they put me on a semi-early once. Never again. And that wasn't an early, that was a 10 o'clock in the morning. It was actually New Year's Eve because we were only open 10 till 4. And to get my shifts in, I had to come in at 10. Yeah. It was like, oh my God. It was literally like, yeah, there's some delivery. You can go put that away. Just stay away from people. If the bell rings, there's plenty of us in. Don't come to the front to serve. You'll scare the customers. That kind of thing. I really should cut that nail at some point, but it's quite impressive. Yeah, it's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I don't even know what you'd do with that. I mean, it's Coke shovel. It's not got to the point yet where it gets in the way, so it's staying. Booger Bigger 3000. Nah, when I've only got equal nostrils that only just fit my finger up there. That's what pinkies are for. It's good for the ear though. Have a good root around and scratch inside the lug hole. It wouldn't be me if my nails were short, would it? I've always got at least one long nail. They come in useful. It's like a built-in tool. And that one's like horn. I could probably undo screws with that. Trimming plants in the aquarium just always overlap like a pair of shears or a parrot's beak. What was that story I saw the other day? Cockatoo. Someone was being attacked and murderified in his house by two people, and his pet cockatoo came to the rescue. Bad news that neither of them made it, they both died. But because the cockatoo managed to do bitey, bitey, scratchy, scratchy on both the attackers, they got sentenced because it was covered in their blood. Go cockatoo. I mean, yeah, there's a hair in that. I mean, I wouldn't want to argue with a cockatoo. I've seen what those beaks can do to walnuts and Brazil nuts and stuff. I don't want to get bitten by one of them. I got bitten by an orange-wing Amazon macaw once, and I've still got the scar on my shoulder, and that was 30 years ago. Is it still there? Yeah, big old scar on my shoulder somewhere around about there. She wasn't being aggressive. She decided she wanted a piece of meat. Just cunk. Yeah. Yeah, she was a full-grown Amazon macaw, so you didn't argue or fight. You just let her do her thing. Just be sitting there on the sofa, and this orange head would come over and just look at you. You're like, oh crap! Don't bite my nose, please. But it's like she weren't aggressive. Lovebirds, on the other hand, they're evil little bastards. Lovebirds are like the hamsters of the bird world. They bite first and ask questions later. Yeah, hamsters are psychotic little buggers, and so are lovebirds. People think of lovebirds a bit like budgerigars or canaries. So yeah, they're a similar size, but they've just got miniature versions of parrot beaks. Whereas if you get pecked by a budgie or a canary, it doesn't really do much. You get pecked by a lovebird, it takes a chunk out. And they like to peck or bite. Yeah, I'm staying away from birds as pets. They're noisy little buggers anyway. It's why I don't have rats or anything, because they just wake me up in the middle of the night. And also cats. So having rodents is a bad idea when neighborhood or your neighbor's cats come into your house anyway. That was it. Uh, what day was it? It was Wednesday. Yeah, I've been out in the garden. I came back indoors and found Ginge just sitting watching the fish. Neighbour's cat just came wandering in the back door and sat there watching fish. Again, worse things to find. At least didn't pee or poop anywhere. Or bring in a frog or a rat or something. Oh, speaking of which, the frog spawn is all hatching now, so I'll be able to clear the gunk off the top of the net fairly shortly in the pond. That's another thing I'll add to my list of things to do. And then I'll pull that tight again because that's got rather slack over the years. Might even clean out the pond pump and get that running again. Although that needs a new impeller, I think. I think it came with a spare one if I've still got the box somewhere. Yeah. Again, problem there is it just clogs up with muck within about 2 days and needs cleaning out again. Which is an absolute pain in the hole. Although again, if I did it regularly, it would probably clear out enough muck that it didn't block up every 5 minutes. Yeah, there's plenty of organic matter in the bottom of the pond, shall we say. I was actually going back looking through some of my old videos on YouTube while I was at work. Naughty boy. and came across the one where my pond had sprung a leak, so I had to replace the pond or replace the liner. The size of that bloody water lily that was in there, Jesus wept. And bear in mind, it's a 6 by 4 foot pond, and I had to, get a spade and break the water lily tuber up so I could actually lift it. And it was huge. Just the rhizome, as it were, was like the size of 2 2-litre Coke bottles. And all the roots and the other bits coming off of that. It was ridiculous. Yeah, literally, I couldn't lift it. And admittedly, I'm trying to pick it up from 3 feet below my feet. But yeah, my back was going, yeah, that's not happening. And my back's not particularly weak, because over the years where I've had nagged knees, I've used my back to lift. Don't do that at home, kids, because you will injure yourself. And while it'll heal up when you're younger, you'll pay for it later in life. Oh dear. I'll go back on lid. Silly EU bottle caps. I've got used to them now though. They were really annoying at first, but now I've got used to the lid being permanently attached. Does mean you don't drop it and it rolls under the sofa and you're like, oh bloody hell, where's that gone? And you find, so you just take the lid off another bottle and put it on. Pardon me. Oh, that's going to itch later when it dries up. Yeah, I don't think we've got anything else to waffle about. I think we've covered most of the usual suspects, haven't we? Food, fish, gardens, politics, porn, culture, bit of history. Yeah, I think we covered most things. Yes. And as I'm bloody starving hungry, and I do need to let the cats in, I think I'll call it there for today. Just a little bit shorter than usual. But yeah. Thank you to everyone for showing up, for turning up, for spending some time with me on a Sunday morning or a Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, evening, whenever it is. Yes, I know, Adele. I know it's very early in the morning or late at night. But yeah, have a good one, everyone. Stay safe. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your hobbies. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Grab the mouse. Turn the mouse back on. Ooh, Sunday shop. Do-do-do-do-do. Sunday shop. Do-do-do-do-do. Sunday shop. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Mondays suck. Do-do-do-do-do. Monday